What's up, everyone? Hello, hello, hello. As we gather, we have 5 people joining us here today on this beautiful Friday. Hot. Looks like the city of LA is opening back up in some degree, and that's fantastic. But we're back. We're back on this new stream, and hopefully we're able to figure this out. So good afternoon. I'm Javi Moreno, and welcome to Latino Theater Company Live. So as we navigate these unprecedented and unsettling times, the Latino Theater Company wants to extend endless gratitude to our community for the outpouring of love and support. It has brought us joy and continues to move us immensely. Today, we continue our conversation with our Latino Theater Company community and our artistic family. We are blessed to be joined by another wonderful Latino Theater Company member, Lucy Rodriguez. As an LATC member, she co-produces our pageant play La Virgen de Guadalupe, Dios Inancin, that is presented annually at the Cathedral of Our Lady of the Angels in downtown LA. Plus, you've seen her in our productions of A Mexican Trilogy, Solitude, Faith, Melancholia, La Víctima, Dementia, several years, August 29, and La Virgen de Guadalupe, Dios Inancin. So join me in welcoming Lucy Rodriguez. Lucy, how are you?
Here.
How's it going? How are you?
That was great intro music.
That was a good intro?
Absolutely. Can't go bad with Fed Estrado, man.
Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us.
How are you? What's up, Javi? What do you want to ask me?
What's that?
What do you want to ask me?
How are you holding up during this time? How's everything?
Oh my gosh. A little like reading like Eckhart Tolle. No, I'm really devoted to developing a spiritual practice. So, and now it's really great because everything's gone online.
Yeah.
So I actually meet with the community at 8:00 every morning for prayer and 12 noon meditation.
Oh, that's
and
great.
That is keeping me very anchored here because we're dealing with a lot of stuff. We have both my in-laws are very sick right now. And so my husband's very busy with that. So, but we're so blessed. I mean, I have a beautiful home. My daughter is here with her fiance helping us out. And it's good. It's good. We're blessed.
That's awesome. So you're doing meditation every day.
Oh yeah.
And it's live, like virtually, like Zoom or something like that?
I belong to Agape.
Okay.
And so they do it every day at noon. Wow. And it's interesting because Agape is a big international spiritual community. So you have people, calling in from everywhere, from Germany, from across the pond, from everywhere. So it's really great.
That is really cool. That's really cool to hear. My wife Elia has been trying to get me into meditation for several years. I just can't do it. I in Oregon, I got into this like tube thing. It was like salt water and try to meditate or just stay quiet. I just can't. I can't do it.
I've been in like floating tanks and stuff.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, there's so many modalities of meditation. I mean, I've done meditations where I had to hold my arms in a position for an hour. And this is probably the easiest and most accessible because the thing is to quiet your mind, and that's the hardest thing to do.
Right.
And it's okay, because everything. Well, I start thinking. Well, yes, of course you start thinking, and then you just come back to, oh, look at me, I was thinking about that. Let's just come back to focus on the breath.
That's exactly. Yeah. I just keep just get all like the voices or everything that's going on in my head to calm down. Like even when I go like to somewhere that's peace and quiet, I need like the madness of a city, a helicopter to pass by or something like that. But I've been keeping busy. I've been doing this. I've been watching a lot of Netflix. Have you been watching? Have you been binge watching anything?
Okay, here are my favorites. I saw Unorthodox.
Okay.
I saw Working Moms from Canada. I really like that show. I just saw Becoming Obama, which I had read Michelle Obama's book. And
okay. I bought that book. I didn't realize it was part of it. It's connected to the documentary. That's cool. I mean,
now they made a documentary of the tour. She went on a book tour.
Oh, that's cool.
So it's really good. It's I think it's a really easy read. She just comes across as so unpretentious.
No.
So very real. I really enjoyed that book.
Oh yeah, I have that. I have that on my list of stuff to watch. On Netflix, we watched Schitt's Creek. We just finished that, also from Canada. We wanted to watch, some of that stuff. I never used to watch TV. I heard just movies or something like that. And this has. Now I'm like binge watching like 4 shows in a row. We're watching The Politician right now.
I've heard that's good.
It's really good. So yeah, keeping busy. So good to see you. Do you have like a little streak of pink hair?
Well, it was red. Yes, it was red. I did it for Christmas, and then it stayed really vibrant, so I kept it for Valentine's Day.
All right.
And then in March, I was going to go in and either get it out or made purple or something, but then the next week, everything closed. So now I said, okay, so I kept it for Cinco de Mayo.
I love it.
Fading. It's going to grow out. Probably.
All right. I love the earrings too. Those are nice.
Gracias. Well, because of you, Javi.
That's that. So you're from, I see I'm reading your bio. You're from San Antonio, Texas. Am I right?
Yes. And Texans always have to say they're from Texas. I don't know. Yeah. It's just like Nicholas Gonzalez. He's from San Antonio, Texas too.
Okay.
So, that's born and raised, and I loved it, and it was wonderful. I led a very lovely, sheltered kind of life. The world was not too big, but I went to Catholic school for 16 years, so including college.
All right.
So, what are you going to do?
And then at college,
say again?
What college did you go to?
I went to St. Mary's University in San Antonio. So shout out to the Rattlers. And it was really good. I mean, and there is when I started really exploring theater.
Oh, wow.
They had a little company on the campus called the Shoestring Players. And so that's when I started. But I was very scared to act. I studied history of theater. I studied design. But I was really scared to act. And I even directed something, which I think is way more scary than acting.
Right.
But that's where I first, it was in college that I first saw my first professional production, and it was a touring production of Children of a Lesser God.
Okay.
And it had, that was amazing. I'd never seen sign language like that. It was all very, very great. But I didn't, say again.
That was one of the first productions that you remember that inspired you to be a performer?
Yes. And it was interesting, though, because I didn't see myself in it, obviously. But I was like, that's really, oh, my gosh, this is an amazing thing, So.
Wow. What was something what was the first thing you saw that you finally say, oh, I mean, aside from this, that like you saw yourself as, someone from San Antonio, Texas, a production that you saw?
Okay. Well, I don't remember why I was there, but it was at the convention center. I probably had an interest. I was just a yearning, an itch, whatever. And I saw a group of different plays. And one of the little plays I saw, I swear to you, it was Jose Luis and Evelina.
Oh, wow.
But it didn't dawn on me till years later. After I started working with him, I was going, wait a minute, I saw you guys.
Wow.
And so, that was a very interesting thing because I hadn't seen, myself up there or even kind of myself up there. It was theater at that point for me was a very affected thing with British accents and proper elocution and That's what I thought theater was.
And this was at the Los Angeles Convention Center or San Antonio?
San Antonio. No, this was way back. They were touring.
Wow, that is amazing. That's really cool. And
yeah, we haven't talked about that with them in a long time. But yeah, I saw them.
That is really cool. I mean, I don't know if you tuned into we had a conversation with Jose Luis and then Evelina and then Sal, but it's so amazing to hear, the different stories and the connection or what brought you guys either to Los Angeles or together. And we've been even with all 3 or 4 of you now, and then next week we have Jeff. we can keep going on for hours and hours because the stories just keep coming out and they're just beautiful,
Well, the way I met, Evelina was telling me,
like
when she did her
beautiful
interview,
photo
and she was talking about the first play they did after they got back from Santa Barbara,
Yeah.
which was Equal Plus the Family, and it was a little storefront theater down in East LA, and I went in for that audition.
Okay.
Now, the way I found out about it was because I'd been doing a play at the BFA, because don't we all do plays at the BFA?
Yeah.
And it was Blood Wedding.
Where were they at the time? Were they at the
Say
old?
again?
Where were they at the time? Were they at the old prison?
At the jail.
Oh,
at the jail.
Wow. Cool.
Yeah, and one of the cast members, his name is Jayed Araiza, who's from San Antonio. And so we got to talking, and he goes, oh, I have these friends, and they're doing this play, maybe you should audition for it. I said, fine. So I guess I called up and got an appointment to audition. But this is how green I was. I talked with Jose Luis, and he told me, okay, I'll see you at 8. So then I show up at 8 a.m. No one is there. And I'm like, what the, and it was before cell phones. So I waited a while, and then I just, my tail between my legs, I came back home and I called him up and I said, I was there for the audition and you weren't there and blah, 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 blah. He goes, at 8 p.m. tonight. I was like, oh, I knew that. I'll see you tonight.
Oh,
so that's how I met them. And I remember walking into the audition, and I loved Jose Luis because he was like all my Mexican relatives, just educated and erudite and sophisticated. And I loved him. And I did not like Evelina. Did not like her.
She was like chola.
Who is this girl? Yeah, I was like,
chola.
No. But since then we've become the best of friends, the best of colleagues, the best of sisters. And it's just funny, but that's how I got it to meet them, to see them. And it was weird because
Ciao.
Look at that. We even, oh my God. Yes. Latinas with puffy hair. Yeah.
These are photos that we shared maybe a couple of years ago. There was that whole like black and white challenge, and I think our technical director has them all placed. Those are really cool. But do you remember the what was the play that you auditioned for?
Hijos, Once a Family.
Yeah, they mentioned that.
And we got the Drama Log Award. And that got the ball rolling for Jose Luis because Bill Bushnell came to see it and then offered him, what can I do? How can I help you? And that's when he was offered rehearsal space, or he needed a job. So he got the accounting job at LATC, but then he got the rehearsal space for the actors. Wow. So we could work out.
That is amazing.
So that's how that came about.
And then, so that was that in 1988, or you joined the company in 1988 after that?
I don't think there was a company per se till after that. But I'm trying to think.
Yeah, because the lab, right? The lab was started.
Yeah, it was a lab. It started small. And then the original company had Angela Moya and Kiki, and of course, Lupe.
Wow.
So, yeah, and Jeff and I were in the younger group.
And so so the company started, and then one of the things that's really cool is that, it's like, just to even think, you think of a theater company, you think of folks out in Chicago, right? Like Steppenwolf and that type of stuff. But one of the things that I've learned as I'm having these conversations with a lot of you, and just thankfully being a part of the productions, the collaborative, right? Director, the playwright, you guys, and then you also serve as, a lot of you, serve as producers for a lot of these plays. Did that start right away? Just like, or how did that, like, you produce? I know that, Jose Luis was mentioning like someone would do the costumes, someone would do the lighting.
I think it just came out of need and desperation. Like, who can do this? Yeah. So, or who wants to take it on? And what I've always admired about Jose Luis is that he never asked anyone to do anything that he wouldn't be willing to do himself. And there was no job that was too menial, or beneath anybody. It's like, you do it, because the focus was the production. It wasn't about individuals. It wasn't about egos. It was about, we're going to get this production done, and what's the best way we can do it. So it's really cooperative. It's really collaborative.
Yeah.
It's about the work.
Right. Yeah. And I think, like just working alongside you and everybody else in the company, you learn that, I think that, it's just like, we want to put, even with everything that goes on, we know the back end, the union, there's the ticket sales, and we're thinking about all that, but it's always about, let's get this production going for the community, and then for people to come out, and everything else will just, fall in place. And that's one of the beauties, and professional, at the same time. And you see that. I mean, I think I was mentioning it to Sal or even Evelina the last time, but I remember going to see Dementia for the first time at the LATC and just being like, whoa, like, I mean, even at my age at the time, I hadn't seen myself on stage as,
right.
As a Latino. So it was like amazing to see that. So going back,
we were so scared to do that production. I mean, I remember opening night where it's like, how are people going to take, because AIDS at the time was taboo. And then within the Latino community, it was taboo, or it was just something, and we were like, oh, how are they? Oh, look at beautiful Sal. How are people going to take this, know? But it was a beautiful story inspired by a wonderful friend. And I think it's those things in life that really affect us, that if we are able to face them, we can transcend them and transmute them into something beautiful. Like I hope this pandemic is doing at some level, at some level, it's gonna work for us.
Definitely. And then so that the first production of that was what year of Dementia?
I want to say 2002.
Wow.
Because that was the same year that we did our first production of Virgen at the Cathedral. And what happened was that it was, 9/11 had happened the year before.
Yeah.
And the St. Viviana Cathedral had been destroyed, like in the 94 earthquake. And so then Mahoney came in, and he was going to build this big old cathedral, it was called the Taj Mahoney and all this stuff. And we went to, I don't know why, I don't know how it came about that Jose Luis and I went to see it. And he goes, this is where we need to do Virgen. And this was like in the summer. And he just kind of looked at me, because I guess he felt I was the most Catholic of the group, and said, find out who we need to talk to. And so we did. We approached them. And at that time, they were so immersed in the inauguration of the cathedral, which was going to take place in September. Mm-hmm. So when we went in with our, we have this play, we think this is the perfect place. This is the largest concentration of Mexican Catholics outside of Mexico City. This is a wonderful opportunity. And they're like, oh yeah, thanks, no thanks. The closing night of Dementia, they called us. This is November. They called us. And they said, do you still have that little play you want to do for the Because now, I'm sure they were going, now that the inauguration had passed, they're going, whoa, hell, what are we going to do for La Virgen?
Yeah.
And we're kind of like dumbfounded. And Jose Luis, in true Jose Luis fashion, says, we have to do it. We have to do it. Because if we do not do it, they will figure something else out. Yeah. And then that's it. We'll just never be in it. So we did. We called in so many favors. I mean, and Jose Luis is wonderful about calling in favors, because he actually makes you believe, which I think is true, what an honor it is you are to help. It is an honor for you to give money. It is an honor for you to help us with this production, And so we did. We called in all the favors, but that first production was crazy. The cathedral, for all the money they spent on it, has horrible sound system. And so we had to bring an entire sound system into that space. Yeah. And as it was terrible. The mics kept going off. The only mic that did not go off was Sal Lopez. So of course he's at the end of the play like, "Oh, that was great." I was like, "Oh, it's great for you, man," but the rest of us were dying. And I can remember Aaron Garcia running around with flashlights trying to light us. I mean, it was just crazy. And when it was over, I was like, "What the hell was that? Was that a play? What was that?" We were very surprised when the cathedral called us the following, within a few days and said, "Okay, so you guys want to do this next year?" Because I thought, era un desmadre, I
Wow.
thought I was just like, what was that?
Right.
But.
And that's when one of the interesting parts, is like, that was the first time. What year was that?
2002.
2002.
That was the first time we did it at the cathedral. Yeah.
Cathedral. So, and before that, where was it being done?
We had done it at the $1 Million.
$1 Million, right? And how did that were you a part of the first production of La Virgen?
Yeah. We did it at the $1 Million.
Yeah.
That was really crazy too. I remember Diane Rodriguez helped us with the costumes for that.
Oh, wow.
She got us, and that's what I mean. Jose Luis is just calling in all the favors. We got to do this. We got to do this. At the time, I think we had finished a sit-in at the LAPC because it was closing, y quién sabe qué. And then Jose Luis said, "No, we're going to do this play and we'll do it at the $1 Million." And it was crazy, but it was great. It was great. And then when we thought about doing it again, that's when he said it should be done at the cathedral. That's the venue to do it in. So.
Oh, that is amazing. I just I never got. I think I went as a kid to see the $1 Million production, but just the cathedral is the experience there is amazing.
As Chris Franco said, who has played one of the frailes, "You can't be big enough for this venue," and it's true. It's such a great style of acting. Oh, Jeff just said that we also did it at St. Alfonso's, and the reason I did not do it there, I had just had a baby, so yeah, I wasn't doing that. But yes, he also did it at St. Alfonso's. So that was where was I with the whole production? Yeah, the Virgen is okay. Now that you've been in it,
I've been in
behind, the behind the scenes and the craziness that goes on behind the scenes. Evelina and I, well, she came up with this idea, but I think it's fantastic. She goes, "We have to do a movie about the making of La Virgen."
Oh my God, yes.
And we can call it Lifting the Virgin. and the reason is because the first time we did it at the cathedral, like I said, we just all started like, okay, we need this, we need that, we need this. And you know how they have, the Virgen has the 4 lifters that go around with her all the time, right? And then they have the lifter. Well, we needed 4 strong men. So Evelina gets on the computer and asks for, are there anyone interested? We need 4 strong men for this production, blah, 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 blah. She gets 4 guys from a halfway house. And they show, they're 4 men, big, strong men. But they're, I guess, different levels of rehabilitation. I don't know what, drugs, I don't know what. But she's responsible for these guys. So she has to meet them. They get dropped off by a bus. She has to meet them. She has to escort them. She has to be with them the whole time. And she has to wait for them to get picked up. And these guys, they were so sweet and so nice. And, we give them these little taparrabos to put on and this big feather headdress. And they just went with it. They were so kind. And one of the guys was an African American that had no idea, wasn't familiar with the story, but just did it. And they did it all. They did it with such, I don't know, de buena onda, just they were there to do it. And it was, so a lot of little stories backstage of, we needed children for that first production at the cathedral. Sal and I happened to have 4. He had the 2 boys, I had the 2 girls, 4 young. We just threw them up there. My little one was 3 years old. She didn't know what the hell was going on. My older one was trying to figure it out, going, "Mom, are we the poor villagers?" I said, yeah, you're the poor villagers. Just, do whatever they tell you to do. But it was, I know, they were so sweet. The kids are always such a great part of it.
It's amazing. I mean, I've gone with my family. I've gone before, even coming together with the company, and I was able to be a part of it last year. I mean, I've been a part of it. I've done the graphics and all that stuff, so I've seen the madness behind behind and getting everything there and set up, and our amazing tech crew that are there the entire week.
Yeah.
I don't think a lot of people, they are there the entire week, and then I think they bring it down in 2 days, which is crazy.
They have to because there's masses,
Yeah, the church continues. I mean, it keeps going on. But it's when you walk in, I remember being in the audience, in the pews when the danzantes walk in, and then here come los hombres barbados, and then just being a part of that. And I mean, just like thousands of people. And as you said, like these people that the guys that got picked up, that were some of the lifters.
Yeah.
I mean, you said the African American guy, but you look into the audience and you see Los Angeles. I mean, you don't see just like it is like heavily 70-80% Latino, but you see Jewish folks, Indian. I mean, it's everybody is there, and it's a beautiful thing that happened.
That with that, I see the donate button go up right now, and that's always been a very tough part of the play, because we had decided from early on this was going to be our pro bono. We were offering this to our community, to people that cannot afford tickets to the Nutcracker or to Christmas Carol, as wonderful as those productions are. But we wanted to give something to them that they could just come and enjoy and feel the spirit of the moment and everything. And so it's always been a little tough getting funding for it, because people would see it and they would go, or potential sponsors would see, it's a religious play. And Jose Luis would always really try to sell it as a cultural play, it's much more that. And so it's been great, the amount of support we've gotten from the council members in the past. And of course, Goya was very, very a big supporter for many years. In fact, we joked about La Virgen de Goyalupe.
De Goyalupe, yes.
Yeah. So no, it was, it's wonderful when people literally buy into this and donate what they can.
Yeah.
So it's beautiful.
I mean, a big part of that, as you were mentioning, it is a free production. We do have reserve seats that people can purchase, and that's those like the first to use. But it's free for the entire community, 2 nights. And we're going on to I think our 18th anniversary this year, which is
that's right. There was only 1 year we weren't able to do it because we didn't get the funding. We just couldn't scrape it by.
And that's one of the things. I mean, is Goya sponsoring this year?
They've lessened their sponsorship. They're not coming in with the amount that they have in the past few years. So we have to, look to other sources.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, at this point, given what's going on, I don't know if the cathedral will be a venue this year. It seems so far away, and yet we're in May now, and let's see what's happened these next few months. And that's not under our control. If the cathedral decides, okay, well, we'll open it, but we'll only open it to 1,000 people at a time. The place seats 3,000.
Yeah. I mean,
that's all.
Yeah. I mean, one of the things that I know, and people don't know, I mean, a lot of the behind the scenes. I mean, I know that one of the things that I saw being behind the scenes and marketing and all that stuff, one of the things that I saw last year that I didn't even realize, literally planning for the following year starts the night of our last production. I mean, the talks like, okay, so next year, I mean, and it's like a wedding, you have a whole year and yet a whole year of planning. I mean, right now it's like our planning is sort of interrupted for that. I mean, even in this time that Goya, with the lesson of the amount, we don't have productions going, so ticket sales are low. There's no ticket sales at all.
Yeah, no,
It's so if people can support, we have a little banner to support. You can support Latino Theater Company at the latc.org/donate. Remember, we're a nonprofit, so all your donations are fully taxable during this time. And that's, if I know there's, it's I love one of the titles is, a gift to the city of angels. And it truly is. And you see Los Angeles represented on stage and in the audience. And it's a beautiful thing. If we're able to do it this year, go to see it. It's free. Bring your family. It's beautiful. It's truly beautiful. So support, donate. You can check it out. But Lucia, I want to go back to just not go back, but just talking about some of the productions that you've done with us. Solitude. You said August 29. Premeditation. Mexican Trilogy. What's one of your favorite plays?
One of the absolutely favorite play that I was in was Premeditation. I loved the character of Lydia, someone that shoots from the hip, doesn't take any shit, just calls it like she sees it. And of course wearing a blonde wig. That's always nice. But I loved it that it was just the four of us. Usually the productions have other cast members, but that was really, really beautiful. And I was and that character, we watched a lot of film noir, and it just kind of came to me just kind of magically, because people were saying, well, did you work on that accent? I was like, not really. Did you work on that walk? Well, not really. I just kind of absorbed it from what we were watching. There was definitely that film noir style, that, that breathy voice, things aren't what they seem, and you talk fast and then you talk slow. And, all of that was it was beautiful. It was so theatrical. And we had such a great, costumer and everything. It was wonderful. I was very sad that I was not able to go to the tour in Boston.
Emerson College.
Yeah, at Emerson College. I'd gotten sick, and I just knew that it was not in the company's best interest for me to go, that they needed to cast someone else. But I said, I'll tell you what, I'll be happy to coach that person or to help that person in any way. And so it was Angela Moya that went with the company, and she came by a few times to my house, and we went through it and everything. But one of the things I learned was that we would watch the archival footage, because she had to learn this fast, and the staging and everything.
Because you did two productions, right? We did the main season and then Encuentro.
Correct.
Right.
Correct. We did the main season and then Encuentro, and I was so I was going over the archival footage, and as I was watching it, I realized that Jose Luis, as a director, uses all the tools available to him. So, the staging is super important. The staging paints a picture and moves the narrative forward. And I remember thinking, okay, I will never ask him, why does he want me to move there again? I will just trust that he has this image in his mind. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out, but we're going to try it. We're just going to do what the director asks of us. And the other thing that I thought was really important, and this is a shout out to Evelina Fernandez, is that, sometimes actors will take liberties in the lines, and their response will be, well, I said the same thing. I just didn't use the exact same words. And it's like, well, no, this playwright spent time writing these words. And for Evelina, it's the musicality of the language. She needs to hear a musicality there. Right. And when you change the line, even if the quote unquote meaning is the same, you change the musicality. You change part of the narrative. You change part of the vision.
Yeah.
And so, I think we're all there to serve the work. So let's respect the work. And the time to discuss it, of course, is in rehearsals. And that's the beauty of working with the company for over 30 years. There's a shorthand. There's there's not an ego involved. You can talk with Evelina very openly about, well, why would the character say that? Or why would, and she'll listen. And she may change her mind, or she may say, you have a good point, or she may not, but it's all collaboration. It's all, how can we make this the best we can make it? And it's not about the individual actor shining. It's about everybody shining, and Jose Luis says, the more you work with the other person, the better you're going to look.
Yeah.
The more you give to that other actor, it automatically comes back to you. It's fine. So that's why I love working with this company, and I feel so blessed that, this is really the only company I've ever worked in. I, worked with other people, but this is one I love because there's so much respect and so much talent. And yes, we share an aesthetic. And I would say Evelina and I share a very similar aesthetic. I mean, we'll look at each other like, well, that was crappy. We just kind of can read each other's mind pretty similarly. And then I think we have the three most sensitive men on the planet in our company. I mean, they'll cry quicker than Evelina and I will cry. We call them los chingones.
If Sal cries quicker than Evelina and you, who cries quicker, Sal or Jose Luis?
Oh, Jose Luis.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah.
He cries.
I'm a crier too.
Man, you look nice.
Look at y'all. This was our gala. I think it was our Carnaval gala, if I'm correct.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not sure which one.
A while back. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, beautiful. I mean, I think that's the other, go-to. I mean, one of the another of our big funding sources is our gala.
Yeah.
So and a lot of these stuff. I mean, we both got to be. I think I did one of the first productions of the trilogy, but then we both got to do one with the entire company. Got to do the entire hour production. How was that for you? Was it especially the Saturdays and Sundays when we had to do? I think it was like 2 intermissions or something.
Oh, man, that was tough. I mean, that was I definitely would rest between. It just was like kind of zen out for a little bit because it was a lot. I'm an introvert, so I need like time to just chill. Other people need to be around other people and they find that energy giving. I kind of find it energy draining. I just need time to reload by myself. But I remember, that was really beautiful. I loved the young people in our cast that had those beautiful voices, and it was lovely working with that range of talent and range of ages.
Yeah.
So, there's Sal and me. Yeah. That was.
I mean, it was really. I mean, I forget the number of actors, but it was the entire company, and then we had 3, 4, 5, 6, like 7 of 8 other actors. Like,
yeah, it was a big group.
And we had a 2-story.
I mean, looking at that picture, I remember the first time I got up there, I was so scared because it seemed so high up and there was no barrier.
I was looking at a video. We were trying to pick something for the archive, but we're still editing stuff but there was a video and it's the third play. It's Charity. And I'm walking up there as Juanfra, and we're literally like crossing, like you go this.
There's no room. There was no room. It was crazy. Room.
And just it was beautiful though. I mean, I for those that don't know, it was part of the experience was Thursdays and Fridays we would do the first part, and then the next week you would come back. Oh, Thursday you see one part. Friday would be the second part, but Saturdays and Sundays we did the entire 3-production Mexican trilogy by Evelina Fernandez, and
with the dinner break in between,
by La Parrilla out in Boyle Heights.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I mean, it was just amazing. I mean, there's so many costumes, so many characters in this, in our space. We were running around like so many things. We had projections and music and dancing, and I mean, it was a lot. So that was there's a question actually from J Ed. Let's see if we can. We won't get into questions, but it was premeditation, J Ed, right?
Yeah, pre-med. That was my
Premeditation.
absolute favorite. It was fun.
Yeah. That is amazing. I mean, I think that was I remember being up there. I don't know if there's a photo of me, but being in those scenes when I'm playing Juan Fra, and then we're like just kind of like breaking it down, and I'm just like ready to go in tears. But it was just really. I mean, that was a really difficult role for me. I remember just what you explaining, Jose, just the way Jose Luis directs us, even, and just be, like because I'm really like this, and that character was like, hi,
Yeah.
But
it's
that was really
that was a very fun show.
Fun show. I saw and then you did 3 productions of Dementia, Solitude. And then I saw that, I mean, which was really cool. You were in the world premiere of A Real Women Have Curves, right?
Yeah, down at the San Diego Rep.
That's so cool.
And actually the playwright, Josefina, she was in it. And I don't think she was originally intended to be in it, but for whatever reason, I think the director talked to her. And so I think that was her first, play that she was in. And she plays the America Ferreira character.
Oh, right.
She plays the youngest daughter, and I play the older daughter. And the thing is that I am not very voluptuous, shall we say, but at the time I was pregnant, so I was going to grow into that role. So I was filling out, but I was definitely one of the smaller people in the cast. So.
Oh my God. Lucy, thank you so much. I mean, I think there's as with everybody.
Oh my gosh, it's 4?
Yeah, it's 4.
Wow.
That we can talk about.
It's gonna be so hard. It was fun.
It was fun. It's fun. I mean, there's so many like new things that I love that we learn, from everything that we talk about, the productions. I mean, there's a lot of things right now. You mentioned meditation. I mean, that's creative. I mean, have you been? I saw that on your bio. You're taking a class right now.
Oh, I just finished a prayer class through Agape, but I've also in 2012 received certification as a Kundalini yoga teacher, which does a lot of just meditation is definitely part of the deal, and then there's a physical aspect to the class, and then there's a relaxation aspect to the class.
Cool.
Yeah,
that's really cool. We'll go into questions as they come in. If you want to type in your question, we'll be able to see them. Some of them we have. This is Blanca Conejo said, "Hi, Lucy and Javi. You're looking great. Love it. Thank you." Blanca Conejo. She has a conejo on her profile. And then Alina.
Oh, Alina.
Love letting us go. And then this was J-Ed. Was your favorite LTC production that you have been in?
Yeah, that was definitely pre-med. That was the most fun for me.
And that's J-Ed from the earlier story.
That's J-Ed from the earlier story. That's right.
Also from San Antonio. J-Ed actually has a question.
Another one?
He keeps asking. So the company continues to grow and develop. It's Jeff directing. Oh, Jeff is directing.
Consider writing or directing? No. Wait, let me think about that. No.
It's interesting. I don't know if they asked this question, but Sal directed me in a reading that I did of a play that we did, Time Alone, and that was really cool.
I might consider writing. I don't think I have the interest in directing.
Yeah.
But writing, Well, I write my own stuff. I'm really into haikus right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I like writing haikus. That's what I put in my kids in everyone's stocking this past Christmas. So I didn't have the energy to go shopping or everything.
Yeah.
So I said, I will write each person a haiku. And they loved it. Thought that was great.
Irene says, Lucy, good seeing you. Can't wait for the theater.
She's from my parish. She's
Oh, cool.
Yeah, she's a sweetie pie.
Beautiful. That's what I really wanted to say for you to write. This is what Jayed's saying.
To hear your voice as a writer. Yeah, maybe so. Although, Evelina and I think of different characters sometimes. And I have this, my mom always had dichos. I think that's how she navigated the world. She would just, and in this time, some dichos of hers have come to me. And one of them is, now she was referring to having to live with people you didn't want to live with. But she would say, cada quien en su casa y Dios en la de todos. Oh. And I was like, hey, that's like how we are right now.
We have,
but then go ahead.
No. We had what's his name? Carlos. Carlos Brown, who did a lot of the costumes. He has some fabulous dichos. I can't do it on this platform because I'll get in trouble. But he has some fabulous ones that once I were able to figure out some sort of performance platform, I would do them. But dichos are amazing.
There are the other one that came to mind during this time was my mom used to say, "De médico, poeta y loco, todos tenemos un poco." And I'm sitting there going, so true right now, baby. So true right now. We're all trying to stay healthy and we're all trying to make sense of this. And but then I thought de loco because we're all going crazy. But then I thought, no, people are thought of as crazy when they have a new vision.
Yeah.
It's only impossible till it's possible. The Wright brothers are crazy. People that Thomas Edison was crazy. What do you mean?
Yeah.
So I'm like, no, I think we're all being called to grow
right
in our lunacy.
Evelina says, how was it working with Robert Beltran in Solitude?
Well, I was a little intimidated the first time because, he's Robert Beltran and he was so handsome and such the ladies' man.
Did you know him before the production?
At a distance.
Okay.
I had never worked with them. I just kind of knew it at a distance. And I was really, he just kind of, it's Robert Beltran.
Yeah.
And, but it was great because during that time, because we did it a few times, Solitude, he also changed because he got married and he wanted very much to have a child. And Evelina and I are like, rolling our eyes going, does he know how old he is to have a child or whatever? But, he changed, he grew, it was so funny because I remember one time he came to rehearsal. This is already, we were going to be putting it up a second time. Oh, it was the Fat Solitude. We'd all gained weight. And,
so we have a picture of that earlier. That's how we found out.
Yeah, that was the Fat Solitude.
I didn't say it. Lucy Rodriguez said the Fat Solitude. That's not.
Yep, that was it. We'd all gained weight. I think even Fidel. Okay, maybe Sal hadn't.
Maybe Sal, yeah. I mean,
but
if you that.
Robert Beltran. By that time, he was married and he had his baby. His wife had a baby, and he came into the rehearsal. He goes, "You guys, have you ever heard of a store called Costco? You can get so much stuff and in bulk." And we're like looking at him like, "You bachelor, you've been a bachelor for how could you not know about Costco?"
Yeah.
He was sweet. I love Robert.
I should bring in to have a chat with right now. Bring up the Costco question. So going to Costco. Did you go to Costco right now? We have Dan Guerrero.
I love Dan Guerrero. He's so beautiful.
We love you too. I actually I got to. I mean, I had talked to him before, but in Trilogy I got to work with Robert, and we had those big long speeches, arguments, and it was intimidating at first, hearing his voice, and I had to be grounded. As Jose Luis wanted me, like, no, don't try to be funny or don't try to add anything. And, cause he's hitting you up with all these things, and just seeing him, it's just like, what did you say? Like, it's like, oh my God, real. Evelina wants to hear more details from your mom. Oh, this is what? Question from Jeff. How's your theater work either helped or hindered your TV and film work? I saw that from your bio, right? You did Sunset Park.
It was a soap opera called Sunset Beach. In which I played. Wait a minute, maid. But I loved work. I don't think it hindered me in any way. I know that once I had children, I just in my head, it became really hard to go out on theater. I mean, on TV or film or auditions and commercials. And I said, no, I'm going to just do theater because I know those guys and I can kind of control my schedule.
Yeah.
And I just didn't have a bigger vision of how to make it all work.
Yeah.
So it was a very conscientious choice to devote myself to the company and to theater there rather than go out on auditions and everything. But having said that, I loved working on ER. It was fast paced. It was fun. I come from a medical family. Almost all my siblings have a doctor and 3 siblings that are nurses.
Oh, wow.
So, I mean, yeah, so it was fun for them.
Where are they at? Where are they right now?
Well, 2 of them are retired, but my brother is a nurse working with kidney dialysis patients, and my other brother is a general practitioner and still at it, man. He's 75, but he loves it. He just loves it. Right now, he's doing a lot of telemedicine, obviously.
Okay.
Because, yeah, I mean,
are they in San Antonio?
Most are in San Antonio. I have a sister in the Bay Area, and I have a sister in Vegas. So
no, I mean, your mom throws some dichos. Our moms are always, our parents. Anybody that artistic. I mean, parents, relatives, like singers, or like they did some singing or theater in your family.
What's the question? I didn't get the question. What do you mean? Oh, my mother was very dramatic. I think she'd been born in a different time, in a different place. She probably would have, performed in some way. And I think it was really odd for her because she was torn, because she was very proud of me wanting to pursue this, but she was also very, well, be careful and don't let people take advantage of you. And it was very mixed messages with my mom, pobrecita. But I remember her brothers telling us no. She would sit us down when we were little, and she'd come out in her slip, and she would do the declamaciones, which are really big with Mexicans, to do these long poems, and they're beautiful poems. But yeah, my mom was big on declamar. I think Sal has an aunt that was big on doing that kind of stuff.
Luis was telling us, I think when we were doing Destiny over in Cincinnati. Hola, Diana.
Hey, Diana.
Which Diana was a part of our production of Destiny Desire, and it was I guess a lot of kids in Mexico, they do their poems, right? I don't know what the poem is. I get it now, but I think that's where it comes from. There's back with J Ed. J Ed has some questions today.
Yeah, I think every year. This is something special. Yes, I think this company is amazingly special. And we're all very different, and we all speak our minds. I come from a family of 6, and I think this is my second family. This is my second group of brothers and sisters. And kind of really special because it's the family you choose really once you're here on the planet, right?
I mean,
just like look around.
Yeah, I mean, like with I mean, the difference of film and theater. I mean, in theater we're in rehearsal 4 or 5 hours a day, you know, and then we do these productions, and
then you're getting dressed together. I mean, how intimate is that?
Yeah.
Oh, the moment I knew when it was right for me, probably when he called us back together to do the movie Dementia.
Oh yeah,
which we're still working on.
Yeah, we talked to Sal and Evelina and Jose Luis about it, and we're, you know, fingers crossed for summer, fall. Before
I think it could.
Yeah, a friend Daniel is mentioning Ramon López Velarde, La Suave Patria. I think those are declamaciones.
Okay. Alguien nos va a declamar por ahí.
Yeah, I know. Before we end, I want to go back to La Virgen really quick, just to remind folks, if you know, aside, I mean, it's 18th anniversary. I know that there's talks of, you know, well, you know, we were talking about going back to doing it at the cathedral. There's also talks of, you know, having some productions at the LATC.
Yes, because we did that one year, and many people responded to that better. It's like the people that, you know, that never set foot inside a cathedral, or just it's a different experience, because if you didn't know the story in a smaller venue, you caught it better.
Right.
You know, the big cathedral, it's such a, your eyes are always, you know, darting everywhere.
And
this is very focused.
Right. And every year, I mean, Jose Luis has added, there's been new elements. We have projections, sound, as you mentioned, has gotten, you know.
The 2 little apparition boxes have been redone. They're beautiful. Oh my God, I can't remember the names of the married couple that does them right now.
Oh yeah, Cameron, Mock, and Emily.
Cameron and Emily. Yes. Oh my God, they're beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, beautiful stuff. I mean, if you were with us a little while earlier, we were talking about La Virgen. We've lost, you know, some because of everything that's going on, and even some sponsorship. We need your support in order for this production to go up. It's free for our City of Angels. It's a gift to the City of Angels. It truly is.
And we have a plan B if we can't do it at the cathedral. You know, we're working on a very serious plan B. Yeah.
So if you can donate, support, remember, this goes, I mean, it's, as we mentioned, I keep saying it, beautiful, beautiful production. latc.org, donate. And we have one final question. I'm going to do it because I know he's been reading the Mexican trilogy. It's my vecino. He's over in Cincinnati. He's been joining us every live transmission. And he has this question here. Was it challenging to transition from Esperanza in faith character to Betty and Charity in the same year? No, we actually,
I didn't do Betty.
That was Elia, actually. Right?
Yeah. Right.
In the 5-hour production, that was played by Elia. Betty was played by Elia. That would have been crazier. That would have been truly crazy. I mean, we did have some folks playing, like, I think Sam played like FDR in one part, and then he would run down and we would do another role. Yeah, but yeah, but you did play Betty in when we did it as a
Charity.
Right?
In Charity.
In Charity, yeah, when we did it as a So what we first did in the trilogy was we did
Hope was first.
Hope first, then Faith. So it was 2, 1, 3.
Yeah.
And
it's
then
very Star Warsy. Yeah. Oh, Karen, she's a friend from church too.
Awesome. Emily McDonald is Cameron's partner. Cameron Mock. That's right. Thank you, J. Ed.
Cameron Mock and Emily McDonald. They're wonderful.
Yeah, beautiful. Lucy, thank you so. And we're definitely going to reach out to them and continue this with our artistic family from the Latino Theater Company, designers, playwrights, everybody else that's been joining us. Lucy, thank you so much. This was wonderful. This is our new platform. It's so wonderful to hear so many of these stories that over the 30 plus years of the Latino Theater Company, 18 years now. Saludos, Veronica Reyes, Lucy.
Somebody else from church. Okay.
Church has tuned in. This is church. All right. This
Saint Agatha. Yay.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. I said it to everybody. It's always been a pleasure, privilege also to work alongside you on stage. I miss you on stage. And I hope I can't wait to, I'm an extrovert. So so I feed off of, I need people around me, which is why this has been created. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Javi. Love to everybody.
Thank you.
Stay safe. Bye-bye.